Hello, my name is Alfan Fajar and my student number is B1024201005 and I'm from Management International Class Batch 2020. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the Human Resource Management Chapter 2, which is about the Human Resource Management Strategic Planning. The first one is I have already watched the YouTube video, and this video is about the steps on doing the strategic planning. And I find this topic really interesting and beneficial for me because this video teaches me on how to focus on my strategies and focus on what actually really matters in things that I am going to do. And the second video is about human capital management, and I find this topic really interesting because this video tells me almost everything about human capital management and its components, and it talks about the life cycle of all the human capital management models that includes unwelcome decor, human resource, recruitment, compensation management, performance management, time and leave management, benefits, payroll, and this video also explains about human resource management system process. And I already read the article dealing with strategic HR management and planning, and what I learned from reading those articles is that strategic planning is a core business process that results in a roadmap of organizational direction. And strategic HR management, or HRM, refers to the use of HRM practices to gain or keep a competitive advantage by aligning individual employee performance with the organizational strategic objectives. So the employee performance and organizational strategic objectives are related to each other. And I also already read the HR headline about strategic utilization of talent benefits healthcare organization. And what I learned about the headline is that one of the ways to gain a competitive advantage in an organization is by doing an approach by actively soliciting and engaging employees in our organization. And for me, strategic planning is the process of defining an organizational strategy or direction and making decisions on allocating the resources of the organization, which are the capital and the people, to pursue this strategy. And the example of strategic planning is when I am a part of a strategic planning team that sets a goal in the beginning of January to have clients consider my company as a trusted partner. And I also would like to increase their satisfaction rate from 80% to 85% by the end of the quarter. And to accomplish this goal, I want to improve my annual client conference. And there are various tasks that I have to do to achieve this goal, such as identifying the venue and date, creating the agenda, inviting speakers, developing social events, and creating menus and sending out invitations to the partners of my organizations. That is the example of the strategic planning. And what I know about the strategic planning process, the first one is clarify the company's vision. The second process is make an outline. When you already clarify the vision of our company, which is really important as the first step of the strategic planning process, we have to make an outline. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna achieve? And then create detailed goals. What are the goals that are going to be achieved in our process, and we have to decide how to track our progress, which means like we can classify the jobs to our workers, and we also have to involve all the employees so that all employees know about the project and all the employees are involved in the project, and we have to follow up routinely to review or give feedback on the current running project. And what is the difference between traditional human resource and strategic human resource? The difference is at the traditional HR departments, it only focuses on managing labor relations, solving employees' problems, and generally just keeping the staff happy. While the strategic HR has plans for helping the organization, recruiting more workers, developing talent, and training employees in company standards and principles in order to improve the employees' skills and to develop their performance in our organization. And what I know about HR factors in the SWOT analysis is that human resource SWOT analysis considers internal and external factors that can either boost or impede the human resource functions within our organization. And here's a few reasons why we should measure our human capital. The first reason is to determine our human capital's ROI. and the second one is to identify gaps in human capital, and the last one is to bridge the gap in our human capital. And there are 8 measures of human capital effectiveness. The first one is our most important issues to measure. The second one is human capital value added. Third is human capital ROI. Fourth, separation cost in our organization. The fifth, voluntary separation rate. And sixth, total labor cost revenue percent. Seventh, total compensation revenue percent. And the last measure that have to be measured in the human capital effectiveness is the training investment factor. And there's a term human capital value added as an indicator or measurement of the financial value or profit an average employee brings to our organization. And so in other words, it actually shows the average profit per employee, or to what extent does the average employee contributes to the bottom line of organization. And then the technologies has changed jobs in organization where we work, and technology changes the way HR departments contact employees, store files, and analyze employee performance. It is used well. Technology makes HR practices more efficient, and when it's used poorly, it can get in the way of managing the company's human resources. And good HR practices maximize the benefits and minimize the problems of the change of technology in this world. And then as HR manager for a multinational corporations, I found it very interesting that the Human Resource Competency Survey is a tool that allows companies to measure the critical competencies of its HR professional. Besides, the individual professionals perform self-assessment, and the professionals' key customers also provide assessments. And the surveys not only measures participants on the dimensions of business knowledge, but also personal credibility, HR functional capabilities, management of change, and culture management. And then I already read the case on page 68, and the first question on the page 68 is that what are some reasons that more organizations do not implement HR analytics, and how would I make the case for adopting HR analytics? So some reasons why more organizations do not use HR analytics is because the lack of a simple standard that informs how analytics help business better compete. And in some companies, there is a general sense that workforce analytics is simply measurement. They are headcount, labor costs, turnover, and so on, which is not the case of organization. And how I would make the case for adopting HR analytics is by sitting down with the top executives of the organizations and explain to them that workforce analytics, in contrast, identifies sets of capabilities that managers can use to rapidly select and deploy capable workers at the right time, cost, and place to achieve critical business outcomes. And then how can HR professionals develop the needed skills to analyze and interpret metrics in their organizations? And what are the resources that HR professional could use or could consult to begin building expertise in their area? So HR professionals would have to start from the beginning. First, they have to understand the facts that are captured by the metrics. In other words, they have to understand the real-life operations of the business that the metrics pertain to. Then it's a matter of a very basic understanding of statistics, like the formula of statistics and of the rules, which are the accounting or otherwise, that were used for deciding which data to capture and how to present it. And then what resources HR can use in this area are to be truly effective in driving and supporting the institution's workforce. And the HR must constantly assess the organization's needs and challenges. And the first step is to conduct a diagnostic of the institution's expectations and its HR needs, followed by an honest assessment of how well the HR function meets those expectations. And that's all about the Human Resource Management Chapter 2, which talks about the HR strategic planning. Thank you.